Hi there, welcome back. Eric Saunders, Youth Football Coach's Handbook, and we are on the second subchapter here of the preseason checklist. And the second thing that we're going to be talking about is communicating with your team via email. And thank God for email, because as little as about 6 or 7 years ago, it seemed like I was picking up the telephone and calling 25 to 30 people in the event of rain for youth football, and that is a task that is not very enjoyable at all. So email is here, and it's here to stay. And I have a couple of points to make about that and ways to help you with your team. So communicating via email, one thing that I would like to point out, if you do not know this, is even if you're just going to use Yahoo or MSN or Google or whatever, a great tip for you is to send out an email or ask in a meeting of your parents, have them add your name to their address book or to their contact list. That will help to get you through their spam filters and make your life a lot easier, because you'd be amazed how many emails don't make it through spam filters. The spams actually read the headlines of your email, and if they don't like something, if there's a word in there that doesn't like, a lot of times they'll throw it into the junk mail. So that's a good little trick for getting through spam filters. The next point about just communicating with regular old email is try to have a standardized time of day that you send email. So whether it's 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock or whatever time it is, if people know that's when the message is coming and they don't see the message, then they're more than likely to pick up the phone and call you and save you a little bit of aggravation. So, anything's easy to do one time, but when you got to do it 25 times, it gets a little bit old. So enough about regular email. I'm going to talk to you about two other email systems that are very cool, and one of them is called Aweber, and it's an autoresponder. And so what we're going to do is just go ahead and share this with you, and this is Aweber right here, and this is my list that I use to manage my team. Now I use this for my business, and I have for quite some time, but an autoresponder actually asks your customer, or in this particular case football player, to accept your emails. It's called an opt-in list, and of course anybody that's watching this video has probably done that with me. So but as it goes to a football team, some of the things that are very useful is right here is in the blue block is my Ravens team. And if I send out a message, first of all, it shows me I've got 31 subscribed. Well, I've got 23 kids on the team. So I have parents that have subscribed with more than one email because they want that message going where it needs to go. So I've got just the 31 in there, and I know who's there. I can click on the list and see who's in. If I don't see somebody in there, then I usually ask them at practice, hey, go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. I'm not going to spend a great deal of time on this, but only to say that if you look at, this is a list of broadcast messages. So one of the great things about an autoresponder, if you have one, is that you can actually see when emails are sent. You can see how many people it was sent to. If somebody's given you a bad email, is not working, it'll say that it's bounced. If anybody's complaining about the email, you'll know that, and that means they click spam, which means they don't think that you're somebody that they need to have. You shouldn't get too many spams, obviously, from your team, unless there's some type of confusion. And then another very good aspect of this is that you can see right here is opens, and I can see that 28 people, I sent this to 28 people, and 28 people opened it. And that lets me know that everybody on the team opened up this email regarding administrative business. And of course, we were getting ready to do our equipment handout, and I was looking for volunteers, and I needed several things done. So I know everybody got the message 2 days before I was going to have the meeting. So that's a great thing about autoresponders. They do cost money. I think Aweber, and I highly recommend looking into Aweber, and I'm not going to make this about Aweber, but I highly recommend you look into Aweber. It's a great resource, and it's just good for business. So the last thing that we're going to talk about is going to be Google. And Google, for those of you who are familiar with Google, I'm sure everybody searches for information on Google, but it is also provides free email through Gmail, if you will, and there is a tool called Google Docs. And so I'm going to skip over to that, and this is Google Docs right here. And you can see in Google Docs what you can do with this thing is you can actually keep, if everybody on your team would sign up for a Gmail account, you can actually make documents that everybody can view at the same time. In other words, they could go online and they could see that document. So if I press new document, spreadsheet, or presentation, I can post things here. So if I'm just going to say new spreadsheet and I open it up, and hopefully the internet will participate with me today. Here it comes. Very good. So we'll move that down in there. And you can type into this document anything that you want to, but you could go practice updates. And I don't see anything typing, so let me try it down here. There we go. Practice updates. And I can't type. Practice updates. And just go Tuesday, canceled. Right? And you can put the date in there. And I can save this. First of all, I can share it. I can share it with my team. So you could just go ahead and click, and if you have a group set up, you could share it with anybody that's in this document. But what I'm going to do is save this and just save it as practice updates and press OK. And what's going to happen is it's just going to go into our little folder. I'll just close that right out. And when I come over here to Owned by Me, anybody that has access to this folder could just click on this folder and see practice updates. This is a 100% free resource on Google Docs. And again, I'm not going to go into a huge thing on Google Docs right now, but this resource is very powerful. It's very free. You can interact with people in real time in the document. So if you want to get together with your coaches in here, go through your playbooks that we'll be talking about later in PowerPoint. It's great for virtual meetings. It's a great, great resource. So hopefully that will help you. And I just wanted to point out a few things about communicating with your team via email and just regular email autoresponders in Google Docs. And we'll probably get into those things a little bit more as we go forward. All right, that will do it for communicating.